This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you, Abhi. And it is, let's see, it's time to get the meeting started. I'm the Sergeant at Arms, so I will put that in my rename. If you're an officer, please put that in your name so everybody knows what you are. And I'm going to introduce, it looks like Abhi. So Abhi, welcome.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you. Thank you. Today we have a fun agenda. We have two fun speeches. In the first speech, it's going to be a practice for a humorous speech contest. And in second speech, we are going to learn how to make Canva flyers. But before we get into it, I want to share two announcements with you. On Thursday evening at 6 p.m., we are going to get a chance to pitch our club, why we should join our club. You have 1 minute to give your pitch, and there will be groups of 5 going at a time, and then the audience will choose the best pitch. What we are going to do is we are going to record these pitches, and then you can use them on your social media. And on Saturday, we have PLI, Toastmasters Leadership Institute. We have world champion Lance Miller coming, who is going to talk about how to find your voice. And we also have Pat Johnson, who is going to talk about leading with your heart. So I will put the link in the chat. Everyone, please register. Let's get the party started. Before we start our speeches, let me introduce Elaine Lung. She has something fun planned for us. Elaine, it's all you.
Okay, thanks, Abhi. All right, everybody. Abhi, please check out the waiting room in case somebody pops in. And what we're going to do today is a little different, not just the slides. We're going to talk about something near and dear to every speaker's heart, story. And we're especially going to talk about something called the story spine. The story spine is an easy way to tell a story. So I would like you to look at your chat window and use that as a model for the story that you're going to tell. And as you are pondering that, I also would like you to take a look at the, all right, yeah, that's good, at the screen, because I'm sharing something called the story dice with everybody. And the story dice is a very cool little story prompt method that is online, and you can use this with your groups to engage them and teach them and work on stories. So this is how it would work. We've got a choice of 9 dice or 5 dice, and you have 1 minute to tell your story. And if you think, oh, this is impossible, I do it with 5th graders all the time. So there, okay? So there's the gauntlet thrown down. You can do this. And oh, shoot, I need some way to time this. And I do have a timing device here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm good. I can time you guys with my timer. Okay, good. Not trying to do too much at one time, am I? Okay, so this is how it would work, everybody. You're looking at 9 dice and you say, all right, once upon a time, there was a tree living in a forest, okay? You're looking at the screen, right? And every day he would send his roots out near the river where there's plenty of water. And so you describe there every day. And then one day the tree thought, wow, what if there's more to life beyond the river? And because of that, the tree jumped on a gondola and went to the top of the mountain and had an idea. Wow, I can see so much from here. What if I went down the mountain? Wouldn't I be happier? So he went down the mountain and found a tree. And because of that, he was magnetically attracted to living in the house at the bottom of the mountain. And until finally he had the lightning and a flash of inspiration that this is where he needed to be ever since. And ever since that day, he learned he could be in a house as a tree. So you're just making stuff up 1 minute, okay? So we can have a 5 dice. I would think we can do 9 dice. I need somebody on screen, and I'm thinking, Chie, would you be willing to go for it?
I'll give it a try.
All right, let's roll for Chie, and you go ahead.
Once upon a time, a little boy was sleeping in his bed, having dreams. And every day, and rather every night, he would dream of walking and walking to his favorite playground until one day he found the beach where the sun was shining brightly and he could play with all the different sea creatures. And because of that, he got interested in mollusks, those little creatures that live in shells, and started collecting that and became obsessed with visiting the tide pools. And one day he had gone to the castle to show his collection to the king. And because of that, he found an extra layer of seashells that the king was really interested in until finally the king said, "You, my boy, will be the court mollusk expert." And he realized that, do I really want to live in a castle? No, I really want to live by the beach. The castle is really far from the beach. So he gracefully rejected that offer to be this court seashell expert and went back to the beach to find his seashells where he was happy and eventually wrote the book. And ever since that day, he lived happily ever after being this marine biologist that he was meant to be.
Yay. All right. Thank you. Okay. That took 2 minutes. So I guess I better cut down the slides. Nicely done, Chie. That was really fantastic. Okay. So I'm just going to try to get a couple more in because I have till 10 after, right, Abby? Okay. All right. So we need another brave guest, brave member. Okay. Miss Anna, let's roll it and go when you're ready.
I'm going to travel all around the world through fire and brimstone to look for the perfect rainbow. We all know that there is a double rainbow and they often show up in Hawaii, but have you ever seen a triple rainbow? You know what it takes to see a triple rainbow? You've got to be in the right circumstances. So I have to pull out my weather maps. I have to pull out my globe. I have to pull out places that I can travel to and find just the right spot. And it doesn't matter how many steps I take, where in the world I'm going to go, but one day that triple rainbow is going to be miraculous. And they will have a video of me just going, wow, wow, wow. And I promise you, I guarantee you, it's going to be the next meme, the next biggest meme to hit the internet and go viral. Back to you, Elaine.
Okay, thanks, Anna. All right, nicely done. Okay, I think we got time for one more. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna, Deanna, just write in your chat the answer for the next one, and we're gonna have someone speak it at the same time, okay? So let's see, who would like to go? We have a speaker. How about Helen? Helen's looking, I see her there where she's popping around. All right, you're talking, but I can't.
Here, let me unmute myself. So
fabulous. Okay, Helen.
Are we still doing the story dice thing?
Yep. Go ahead. You can use the story spine if you'd like to just kind of give your story some direction.
Once upon a time, I decided that I wanted to be an actress. And I worked really hard and I got to the top of my class in acting school. But then I wondered, would I be a success anywhere else or only here in Martinez? So I decided to travel the world and take on plays and take on adventures to see if I could still be an actress no matter where I was in the world. Along the way, I found a magic wand And because of that, I was a success everywhere I went, as long as I had my magic wand with me. So ever since that day, when I had my magic wand, I was a successful actress, no matter where I was in the world. Finally, I discovered that the magic wand was really not magic, but just having the self-confidence to be a success. And that was what I learned on my travels around the world.
All right, fabulous. Nicely done. So I hope you use the Story Spine whenever you can. It's a fabulous little tool to keep you on track and make sure all the story parts are there. And story dice are great for prompts. So that's the cool, super cool game. Back to you, Abby.
Elaine, I loved it. If you can put the link where we can access the story dice, that will be so helpful. I'm definitely going to use it in my other clubs. We will now move on to our speeches. Our first speaker is going to be Pooja Joshi. She's preparing for a humorous speech contest. So I encourage you to give her as strong feedback as you can so that she can take her content to the next level. This is her innovative planning level 1 evaluation and feedback speech 1. The purpose of this speech is for member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator and apply the feedback and give the speech again. Pooja Joshi, an exotic species of the Bay Area. An exotic species of the Bay Area. Pooja Joshi.
Good evening, Toastmasters. The author Yuval Noah Harari, in his book *Sapiens*, said, once an invasive species arrives, it is almost impossible to get rid of it. Now, over 50 years ago, the Bay Area started attracting a particular group of humans, a particular species that became invasive. They have not only dominated the Bay Area, but are on their way to dominate the whole world. Homo sapiens engineers, also shortened to engineers. They come from lands far and near to this mecca of technology. The Bay Area presents a unique opportunity to study them in large numbers. But first, how do you spot an engineer? It's a simple test, really. Imagine a beautiful November day, perfect fall weather, slight nip in the air. The kind of day when you would maybe wear a jacket or not. So what would this person do? A, wear a jacket and go out with friends. B, not wear a jacket and enjoy the beautiful weather. C, build an app that will analyze your height, weight, disposition, and the weather and make a suggestion if you should wear a jacket. Then spend the next 6 months trying to convince VCs why people need an app to tell them to wear a jacket. If the answer is C, ding, 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 you have found yourself the engineer. An engineer is someone who tries to solve problems you didn't know you had in ways you don't understand. Today, I'm going to tell you some strange habits of this great species. Engineers spend their days in front of screens, writing code, rewriting code, adding a semicolon here and there. They make some truly amazing things. Their creations have us addicted, scrolling, spinning, liking, spinning webs that have changed human psychology altogether. And they do this under their collective guise, their motto, to make the world a better place. Engineers are loyal. They take their commitments seriously. A friend of mine was once dating an engineer. She would spend hours talking to him, telling him about her day, what she did, her work, things that her boss said, projects that she was working on. And when it was his turn, all the guy could say is, it was fine. Even for table topics, we managed to say something for a minute or two. But this guy could only say it was fine. Turns out he was sworn to secrecy by his employer master. He just couldn't talk about his work. And that was the loyalty of this engineer. Rating an engineer can lead to some funny experiences. but they are widely recognized as excellent marriage material. Intelligent, dependable, employed. I myself fell for this trap and married an engineer. It was then that I got a chance to study these species in greater detail. They have another special power, concentration. When my husband is sitting in front of his computer, I don't think he hears or sees anything around him. I asked him one evening, "Hun, do you want rice or bread for dinner?" Without looking up, he said, "Okay." The other day, I was all dressed up, going out to work, and I asked him, "How do I look?" And without looking up, he says, "Fine." Did he just say I looked fine? I need to think about that a little more. Engineers rarely spend their money on clothes. They're often seen wearing free t-shirts from their employers and vendors. My husband did this too, and I got sick of it. After a lot of nagging, he finally gave in and bought some real clothes. Now, on a regular day at work, he wears blue polo and blue jeans. On a date night, he wears blue polo and blue jeans. For a presentation to the CEO, he wears blue polo and blue jeans. The most incomprehensible lot of all. Why do they do the things they do? Nobody can tell. But there is not a single dull moment with them. Yuval Noah Harari was right. This invasive species, the engineered species, they're here to stay. There may even be some amongst us. Look around. They're mostly a fuzzy and warm lot. They just need a lot of laughs, some alone time, and some hugs. But beware, with their abs and their sides, they are on their way to world domination. Back to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it, It was fun reading the script, and when you're presenting, it was a totally different experience. We'll now move on to feedback. Let me call upon Chie to give feedback to Pooja. Chie?
Engineers, they're a special species. And yes, I have read the book Sapiens. Pooja, I love how your voice was so clear, even, and almost a perfect engineer type, where you were articulating all these different points with a dry sense of humor. Love that. Something that you kept doing in your gestures, like this whole thing about, without looking, and, this whole typing and that whole gesturing of the engineer, you captured that essence really well. That was funny. It was relatable. I saw a lot of people laughing. One thing that would make it better is if you would, instead of looking down at the screen, I suspect that you were reading your script because you didn't have a lot of time to prepare. But if you could look at the camera and then stare at us from time to time, that would drive the message even better. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you, Chie. Derek?
Hi, Pooja. I think that you're really good at keeping up the energy. When you talk, it sounds like you're excited and it's full of energy and not dull at all. Your topic was on the engineering species. Now, if this is a look at engineers as a species, I think it would make sense to talk about other engineers in the species, whereas you just focused on your partner who was the engineer. You could reference the big ones like Steve Jobs. What does he wear? Black turtleneck and jeans. What does he wear every day of the week? Black turtleneck and jeans. And you could relate that to how your husband also does the exact same thing because he's part of the same species. Yeah, so I would say just that's my main feedback for, that would be my suggestion. Hopefully you can work on this, make it more better. And in general, I think you talk really well. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you. Anna?
Hi, Pooja. I just want to say, first of all, you didn't have to apologize to us. You seemed very well prepared to deliver this speech. And you have a great presence. You had a good smile. I think you did a very good job in coordinating your your hand gestures with your story to help us understand, especially ding, 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 ding. And you were trying out humor, and I think it worked really well. The jokes landed. You emphasize a lot of things. So even though it sounds like you're kind of putting down the engineering species, you actually had a lot of flattery, good marriage material, they're loyal, their concentration. So it was fun because then you counterbalance that with, maybe your own frustration at those great qualities. So that was a great way to land humor. And the only nitpick that I have for you is that you need to slow down and let those punchlines land a little bit. Give us a couple of seconds to absorb it before you start rattling off the next part of your speech. I think very well done. Keep working on it. Keep practicing it. You're going to have a very good speech to give at some engineering conference very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Kate?
Thanks, Abhijit. Thank you, Pooja, for a great speech. Look, my husband was on the side listening, and he goes, "What's wrong with blue jeans and a blue shirt?" And we burst into tears because it was hilarious. It was the timing, absolutely the timing. So thank you. I can definitely relate, as you can hear. I would suggest I got a little bit lost and I was looking for those signposts of your speech. I'm going to give you 3 things that really irk me, or something like that. Give some way for the folks listening to hear where you're heading with your speech. Fantastic job, though. You definitely have the stage presence. You are able to communicate very effectively, and I'm looking forward to hearing your next speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you so much, Kate. Thank you. Aisha? Yeah.
I had to laugh the whole time from beginning to end. I had the very good fortune to work with engineers, and they are just totally mute. We say, "Is that okay?" And it's the same stare. You can put a hand in front of their face and they don't move. So the speech is very enlightening. It was very laughable for me, having experience being with a group of engineers on a project in Atlanta. And I'm very excited. I think your speech transcends the whole world, because engineers, they have a mind of their own, a set of their own, a glue that sticks together, and it's a bonding that I don't think too many people know how to break, because it's a sorority and a fraternity all rolled into one. And I really appreciate your speech, and I think you'll get better in terms of ideas, but tonight it was very good. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Diana, can you type in the chat? Elaine.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay. Idea for you, Pooja. The blue polo, blue jeans. You might say, yeah, we went on a dinner date, of course you were blue polo, blue jeans. And then afterwards he's like, hey, I need to go to Best Buy. So we go to Best Buy, and we couldn't get out of there without 10 people asking us, hey, where's the phone charger? Where's the USB key? I'm telling you, you could just riff on that some more. That was my suggestion.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Pooja, Diana says, I like your speech. And the best thing was your smile. We'll now move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Namita Nandakumar. She's going to talk about Canva. This is from Strategic Relationship Pathway, Level 4 Speech, question and answer session. So Namita will give a presentation, and after that, we get a chance to ask her question and answers. Namita Nandakumar, how to make flyers in Canva. How to make flyers in Canva, Namita Nandakumar.
Thank you so much, Abhijit. Before starting, I'd like to ask, how many of you have actually used Canva here? Okay, quite a lot of people. Let's get started. I'm sharing my screen. Host disabled, participant screen share. Thank you. Let me know when you can see my screen once. Is it visible?
Yes.
Right. So Canva, as you know, this is about creating flyers, but before that, I'd like to show you the agenda of this meeting, that is about Canva, how we can use it in Toastmasters, how to log in, select a template, resize your poster, and the walkthrough. Canva is an online tool. It is a cloud-based tool. So whatever design you create on your mobile will be available on your web app, and whatever you create on the web app using your laptop or desktop will be available on your mobile app. It is totally customizable and it is very easy to use. Like you log into the Zoom meeting or to Facebook, it is very easy to log in and just get started with it. Okay. We can use it for posters. We can use it for banners of Facebook pages or the LinkedIn profile of yours. You can create logos for your own club. Then create content. Like for Multimedia Magicians, I'm working on something called the video introduction of Multimedia Magicians. It's still in work in progress. We can create web pages if you have your own club's website, and this whole presentation has been made in Canva. Originally, it was a blue theme and with buildings here, and it had white font. I changed all of that to suit my presentation. And how to get started? As I said, it is as easy as logging into the Zoom meeting or to log into your net banking account or Facebook. You just open Canva site, create a login, and just start working on your design. This is how the homepage looks like once you log in. This will be your profile photo and your name here or team's name initials. And you search for whatever you want to create. Suppose it is a poster, you will search for a poster. Suppose it is for a wedding anniversary wish, you will search for anniversary wish. It will give you all the options here. And these are the various options. This is something that is suggests using the AI. This is to create presentation. This is for social media, video, etc. Okay, I'll just go into this deeply once I start my walkthrough. Now, selecting the template, as I said, you search for whatever you want. It will give you suggestions and you select one of those which you like. Resizing, usually people create an A4 size poster that will be rectangular. And some people like horizontal landscape poster that looks good on Facebook. So you can resize here. This option is majorly available on the pro version of Canva. Okay. And the template selection, you go to this place, which I'll show you later on. You search for whatever it is, flowers, or your meeting themes is mind's eye. You search for eye, and it will give you a lot of templates or photos here. Okay. So let's go to the walkthrough. Let me know once you can see my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
Thank you. So this is what I said the login page will look like. And these are all the options I have. If suppose you are creating a poster or a post for Instagram, what you'll do, you go to click on social media, click on Instagram post, and you customize it. Okay. So let's get started with this template. This is a blank Instagram post. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have any template here. What I'll do is Multimedia Magicians post. Okay. Or to say poster. Now you can see it is a square shaped poster. What I'll do, I'll go to resize. I'll take the available options, or I'll just punch in the required pixels, inches, millimeter, centimeter. For now, I'll take this option. Now you can see the poster is in landscape mode. Okay. What I'll do, I search for live session. It has given me all these kinds of templates. I will choose one of which I like. Suppose I am choosing this template and I am creating a poster for Multimedia Magicians. First of all, what I'll do, this white is not standing out in the poster. I'll just change it to Mind's Eye, which is today's theme. And here I will change it to Multimedia Magicians. And I will reduce the font size to suit my need. Okay. My idea is that this whole Multimedia Magician should come in this banner. Now you can't see the banner properly. What I'll do is that I'll replace this background. I'll go to elements here. I will scroll down to the photos. I'll go to third eye and I'll take this option. This is the poster also of our today's meeting. I will replace the background. Now you see the banner is visible here, right? But Mind's Eye is not standing out. What I'll do is I'll go to here, which is the text color. I will change it to black. Okay. And here I will write Canva session. Again, I will change it to black. I will delete unwanted information from here, which I don't need, and your poster is ready. Now, I'll show you one more thing. This all is looking a bit mismatched, right? This is a golden color. This is black text on white banner. This is black text on pink banner. And this is just a text here. I want to change the whole color scheme. What I'll do is I'll go to the styles option here. I'll click on it. And suppose I like, say, this color scheme, this font, I will click on it. It will change the whole, color scheme and the font here. I will duplicate it. I want to change it to some other color scheme. You don't have to go to each and every element here. You don't have to go here and change its color. You don't have to go here and change this font. It will do it for you. So I have the old one here and the duplicate one is here. I click on this. It changed into pink. Now the pink is not standing out against yellow. What I'll do is I'll go to the elements. I will click on, say, gym. And I like this photo a lot. So I'll click on this and I will again right click on this and replace the background. You see, it is better than the previous one, but still my text is not that visible. What I'll do is I will click on this whole box. I will change the color from pink to something related to this colors in this photograph. I change it to this and your text is visible better than the pink background, right? I want to make Canvas session also stand out, so I'll go and make it white. And this is not very visible. What I'll do is I will place it here. I'll make it bold and I will change its color to black. And everything is available here. Okay. So usually what I do is I don't create posters from scratch. I have a lot of templates. What I do is that I just take one of the previous posters I've created. For example, let it load. Right. So here I will take one of the existing templates. For example, the Intercontinental Toastmasters July to September posters. I've already created in September. What I do is that I don't want to write or type in the same details, these meeting details, the date and time every time I create a new poster. What I do is that I duplicate the existing poster and I change whatever is available here. That is Mind's Eye, which is today's theme. I will change it into Multimedia Magicians. Meeting details. Today is what? Today is 27 July in India, and in US it's 26 July. It started at your 6 p.m. PT, that is my 6:30 a.m. morning, and I will change this detail, which is multimedias, and replace it with MMT Toastmasters. Okay. I don't like the background here for Mind's Eye. What I'll do is that I will again go to the elements, go to my poster, replace it, right click, replace the background, and there you go. Now I want to make the meeting details stand out. I will click on this text, go to the effects, go to the background, change the effect to something that will make it stand out, which is white, or I can say gray, and your meeting details are standing out. This I will change it to white. Okay. I didn't like this color scheme. Suppose it's hypothetically I'm saying I didn't like the color scheme. I will duplicate it. I'll go to the styles. I'll again change the whole color scheme here, and it will do the work for me. Okay, Derek, I cannot see your timing, so I'm assuming that my timing is near to the end. Any questions here?
We'll now move on to the Q&A section. Anyone has any questions, raise your hands. Kate, go ahead, Kate.
Thank you very much for this speech. I was wondering, how do you get into this specific, you said it was Pro?
Canva Pro. Yeah, so see, you don't need Canva Pro to create a poster. You can take any account of yours, create a login for you and get started. The resize option is available in Canva Pro. Okay, so suppose you have decided before getting started on a poster that you want a landscape poster, you start with a landscape template. Understood? If you want an A4 size vertical poster, you start with an A4 template. But if you started with an A4 template and later on you decided you want a horizontal poster, then to resize, it would be a challenge without a Canva Pro account. And if you want to get the Canva Pro access, we have a method for that. Abhijit can give you more details on that. Okay. Did I answer your question? Thank
you, Namita. Derek? Oh, Elaine, you have a question?
Oh, yeah, I think Derek's just got his hand up as timer.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, Namita, I mean, it happens over and over again in my clubs. You're like, okay, VP PR, we need some posters for the whatever, open house, contest, you name it, right? And they're like, okay. And then I don't know, things get in the weeds real quick, or people just feel overwhelmed by the whole prospect. And this tool is very simple. It looks like if a club could like maybe get an account and a template, then they could just keep using it again and again to generate new flyers, I guess. But a flyer, you know, typically it was like 8.5 in US, 8.5 by 11. It's got like the theme and then all the details at the bottom. This is sort of, this looks like it's more geared for digital distribution. What are your like suggestions for clubs that need to do stuff like this? And then I guess this would be great for digital distribution. Is there like a good flyer template that you can give us so we can take it back to our clubs and say, hey, Canva plus this and you're bulletproof?
Yeah, I can provide you templates. See, okay. So the thing is, I have all these templates. I've put it in my projects. I have created a folder. If you go to the folder section, I've created a folder for Toastmasters. You can see here, this is a Toastmasters folder. I click on this. I have all these templates for various clubs I am in. Okay. I can provide you one of the templates for your club. All you can do is go and customize it. Got my point?
Yeah, okay. And do you know
you?
branding with a Toastmaster brand?
Toastmaster brand. So see, the problem with the brand manual is it has 4 colors. It has blue, it has yellow, it has burgundy, and it has a gray color, or to say white. And it is very hard to be creative with these 4 colors and the text format they have provided. For example, I'll show you one of the posters I've created for the workshops. These are all the templates for my workshops. Okay, I will click on this. And it's still loading. See, if you see, this poster is all about Toastmaster branding, and all the colors of that brand manual and the font has been used here. Okay. This is the workshop that Dennis gave last week in our club. I used this poster. Why? Because this posters look better to me. I could have gone with this poster template. This is also as per the Toastmasters brand manual. This is also as per Toastmasters brand manual. But if you see here, my creativity is limited. It has the brand logo. It has all the details. But if you check this one for the same workshop, it looks way better. What do you say, Elaine? Which one looks better to you? This one, this one, this one, or this one?
Well, I mean, they're all different. It seems like there's use for all of them. So just as long as it has the info on it that people need. So I like eye-catching. I like eye-catching things, Namita.
So which one is catching your eye here?
I kind of like the one I'm looking at right now, but with the bold blocks of color. Yeah.
Okay, no issues. So see, these are all the templates I've already created for any future workshop that will happen in any of the clubs I'm in. I'm in 5 clubs. So if anyone says what I have to do, suppose I'm not in front of my laptop. I don't have a personal laptop with me. I am outside traveling, but I get a request. What I do, I log into my mobile device. I will just change the details here and just share it across. Got my point?
Aisha, next question. Yeah.
I looked on my phone, so there is a free one for this that you can use. And in terms of a web, how does it interact if you're doing like a web page with another, I guess, provider? How can you use that? Or do you have to just stick with this, with their format?
I didn't understand your question. Can you repeat
He wants
that?
to know how you how you can post this to their existing web page. Does it work well? If you make a poster in Canva and then put it to your web page.
Got it. Thank you, Anna. So, Aisha, the thing is, your web page, what dimension it is using, first of all, you need to know that. If it is for a banner or in the middle of your web page, you first need to decide what is the dimension of whatever you're creating, the banner or the poster or whatever it is. Got my point? And then, yeah, then you have to customize that poster or whatever you're creating as per your needs.
So this can easily be linked. That's what I'm saying. Can you link it?
I'm sorry, what? I didn't get that.
Can you link it from one web page, you know, this to a website?
Link? No. In web pages, you download this, say one poster you download, and you upload it into your website. You don't link this image to your website. The image should be visible on the website. For example, in this web page you are seeing, you can see the images here. You can see the posters. What if I just provide the link of this poster on this web page? It will not be that user interactive, right? Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah,
I'll play around with it to see, you know, what it can do in terms of what I'm looking for. But it's very interesting. Thank you for sharing this.
Thank you so much for that.
Derek?
Diana,
Yeah.
I see your hand. You can just
Yeah.
type your question in the chat.
Yeah.
I think the time is over. So thank you so much. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Yeah, Abhijit.
Thank you so much, Namita. We can continue with the questions after the meeting. We will now move on to feedback. Let me call upon Chie to give first feedback to Namita. Chie?
Hi, Namita. You're obviously a very creative person with a wealth of information. That's the biggest impression that I got from a presentation. And it was mesmerizing watching you navigate the screen. What was really effective for me was your PowerPoint presentation, putting up the framework of what you'll be covering through your presentation. I thought that was effective. And when you got into your how-to on the actual Canva application, it felt to me like you had a set of assumptions of the audience, of our level of understanding, expertise, and how to deal with the tool that for some of us, you know, it kind of like way over our head, that it may have been, if you were to do this again to either this club or another Toastmasters club, perhaps give some signposts about, hey, you know, I just told you about this. And by the way, I maybe at the beginning, I assume that you know how to do X, Y, and Z, just like you manipulate images on PowerPoint or some other familiar tools that the audience can relate to. We have a mixture of different technology abilities in our club. And I'm actually speaking from someone that's not familiar with Canva. So that is my feedback. Thank you for sharing the tool.
Pooja?
It's interesting, Abhijit, that you asked me, because I was just about to raise my hand, and I have some feedback which is probably diametrically opposite to what Che just told you. I thought your presentation was fabulous. And again, this feedback is coming from me who at one point started my career in graphic design. So maybe my lens is completely different and hence my feedback is such. But I felt like you showed us how to do a lot of things, and a lot of people can use Canva. And when you asked who has used Canva, you saw a lot of people raise their hands. So obviously you have an audience who has more or less at least been exposed to the tool. And it's super intuitive using Canva and adding things. For me, coming from graphic design, I never knew that you could use styles, and I haven't even tried it, you know. Look, from my lens, I would draw a square, do everything from scratch, because that's how I would do it in a sophisticated design tool in, you know, InDesign or whatever else I'm using, Figma. But there were so many tips and tricks like using styles or, you know, just changing things automatically. And that for a layperson makes them a accomplished graphic designer. So I would actually suggest you to, you know, play on that more about how anyone can, you know, make amazing graphics with this tool. You know, adding text or changing color, I think is something which is so intuitive anyone can do, I assume. But there's so much power to Canva. So that's my feedback. But Namita, I also want to say that you did a fabulous job of showing us how you did it, and you took us through so many changes in that document, and through that you showed the tool, which I thought was a great way to teach the tool, rather than saying, okay, this is how you add text, this is how you change color, this is how you pick a style. But you did it through the instance of actually making the poster. So thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. Derek?
Hey, so I thought it was really great that you went over Canva in detail. However, I think the introduction could have been stronger. Maybe I missed this part, but I like to think of showing the end in mind. Like if you're going to create this awesome design that you're going to show, like maybe the dentist one that you showed later on, you can say, hey, do you want to make awesome designs like this? Boom, and then you show dentist there. And then it says, all right, you can do this with Canva. And then you start from the bottom up. How do you go from nothing to that dentist advertisement? I think that would make a lot more sense. Because it kind of looked like you just started putting it together, and I wasn't really sure what place you were going to navigate to. It seemed a little bit random to me. So yes, try to have people have something to look forward to, if that makes any sense. And then the second feedback would be, I would say, take a look at how, as someone that uses Canva, I think it would make sense to study the various ways that Canva can be exported. They do have options to print if that's what you're going for. They do have options to post it to Facebook and Instagram, and they can even output an HTML if that's what you're looking for. I think it would make sense to take a look at all these little options in case, that way you can tell people, oh, you can use it for this, this, and this scenario. And I was a little surprised that it seemed like you were mostly knowledgeable on exporting the picture when there are many different ways you can export it. And that's my feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Derek. Diana, can you ask your question in chat? Solar sir, feedback?
Oh, yeah, actually,
Dina
apologize.
Dina has her question in the chat already.
Okay. Namita, can you answer that question through chat after the meeting? Okay. Solar sir.
Well, one, I love all the feedback. I apologize for getting here late, but I want to just say something that I observed that I really liked. What I felt Namita was going through was a creative process. I like how we started with the design, changed it, then went through a whole series of designs as we would do if we were developing something, and then came back around to say, well, we're going to go with this one for the mind's eye. I actually liked that process because for me, that simulated the creative process we would go through developing it. So I really appreciated seeing that. I enjoyed that. I want to thank Namitha, who is actually, many people doesn't know, but we're online spouses. We're just
Thank you so much, Sorazar. Anna,
Salazar, her dad is here. Salazar, her dad is here. Say hello to your father-in-law. Namita, I just wanted to say that if this was my first and only exposure to Canva, I think you did a good job because you are taking the audience directly to the pieces that I could start off with, how to do a search, how to import pictures, how to change some key things. And if this was my only exposure, I kind of could probably go in and start hitting the floor, poking around. So I think you did a good job with that. Because you're easy to understand and you were articulate in all the different points, and you used a good layman's language instead of taking us into some kind of graphic speak. So I thought that was really helpful. You also did a good job navigating through the different text. So you started off with the PowerPoint presentation, then you took us to the tool itself. So I thought that was very nice because it was seamless. I would just kind of advise two things. Number one, check in with the audience from time to time, make sure we're still following along with you, because you were going step by step by step. And then the second thing that I would like to kind of say, which I had in mind, but Derek kind of said like have the end goal, but mine is a little bit different. It would have been good for you to say something like, you guys are all trying to support public relations or BPPR. And I found this to be one of the most simplest tools to support that goal. And then I think you hook us in because we see now what's in it for us. And that's a key factor for me to be able to pay attention to, because I want to know what's in it for me. And, whenever somebody's trying to come in and sell us software and they don't even know, they're trying to sell us like treasury software or something, and they have no idea what we do, then I'm not really going to be paying attention, right? So that's a key piece, I think, that you just got to hook them in and say, if you're trying to do this, make sure I'm showing you the easiest way to get to that net result. And I think you'll have a great job, and I look forward to future speeches.
Thank you so much. Namita, will you be able to answer Diana in the chat? Let me call upon Chie. Chie, it's all you.
Thank you, Abhijit. In the next minute or so, I will give an overall evaluation of this meeting, which started on time. Yay, we had an agenda. It followed agenda. Yay. If there were two things that I could ask for, let's see if we can have the timer clarified at the beginning so that it helps us to keep on time. Two phrases that I loved in this meeting were what Anna had said: check in with the audience and answer the question, what's in it for us? I think those two comments apply to every single speech that we do. So thank you for that, that nugget of gold. And Abhijit, I love the way you keep the pace moving by just calling on people for the round robin evaluation to get us on track. So thank you so much. Back to you, Abhijit.
Thank you so much. David, how was your experience? I hope we can hear you today. David? Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I witnessed Namita's presentation. The previous presentation, I joined in very late, so. And she has really simplified Canva for me, because there are a lot of things that she has exposed me to. After her presentation, I just logged into my Canva account to see. And then I realized that when I went to the research, there are a lot of things that I can do over there. And I'm very grateful for that. And I think every presentation here, the feedback that she received, I also took some information from that as well. So I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you. Helen?
Thank you, Namitha. I learned quite a bit of hints on using Canva. I'm also a beginner at it, so I learned a few shortcuts. Thank you for that. I also enjoyed the initial, I don't know what you would call it, exercise that Elaine had us go through of trying to tell a story with 5 slides in 2 minutes or something, which was a lot of fun. I did enjoy that. And I also enjoyed the humorous speech that was given about the species of engineers. That was very well done. And I hope to hear it again as she refines it. So thank you for allowing me to be a guest tonight.
Thank you, Helen. Mr. Nandakumar, how was your experience?
Hello.
Hello.
It's really great, and I like my daughter's presentation of Canva, and it was really nice to hear about it. And I myself could not understand much of it, but because we are all the old generation, so we are introduced to this new things. So Canvas, I never used it till today. But whatever it is, my daughter presented very nicely. Now, about engineers, I felt it as a what I say is it is not. I mean, I don't think so because the concentration required for a certain work is so huge in this particular case that focusing is more required in certain work. So if anybody disturbs in between, we get little perturbed. That's the reason we are more focused on this job. It was quite nice, good presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Solazar.
Well, the part I attended was fun. I just love it. It was great energy, wonderful people, good information all the way around. It's just it's always a pleasure to see a club you're a part of, Abhijit. And thank you everyone else for your input.
Thank you, Solazar. Back to you, Madam President. It's all you.
Thank you, Abhijit. And thank you to all of our guests. It was so great to have so many guests tonight. I want to also give a special call out to Elaine for that lightning slides round or whatever you would call it. It was so much fun, and I hope I can participate in that next time. Thank you all. We will adjourn this meeting, and as usual, hang around later if you want to.